I drove like 14 hours from Nova Scotia.
Oh, wow. Thank you,
to
man.
see you.
America's a great country, you know.
It
Consider
is.
it sometime.
Yeah.
But thank you for
Well,
coming, man.
I
appreciate
have
it.
dual citizenship, so I do plan to move here next year. Anyways,
Thanks for being here.
yeah, it's great to be here. But yeah, I had a question like about the northern border. Like, I'm not sure if you're aware, but like last month there was that like Toronto resident who was planning like a terrorist attack in New York City. What do you think should be like done about it?
Yeah, people laughed at me at the presidential campaign for talking about this, even a lot of in the Republican Party. So I took a trip to the northern border of New Hampshire, and it was really interesting. It was like a fascinating trip where we went to one of the border crossing stations, high-level security, barbed wire fences. It's like a sign coming in from the Canadian side, do not enter, you will be prosecuted. And then like right under that, there's another sign that says, hiking trail this way. And so we like checked out the hiking trail, just like wide open in terms of whether or not you're able to cross. Now, would that be a big deal? Is that not everything can be the highest priority at the same time? Well, it turns out we've had more northern boarding crossings at places like that, 10x more in the last year than we've had in the average of the last 12 years. And just last year, enough fentanyl was captured, and this is just the amount we recovered at the northern border to kill 3 million Americans. So I do think this is a rising and serious issue. I think Republicans who laughed it off while I was, brought this issue up on the debate stage last year, I think are in some ways uncertain of whether they're still sweeping this under the rug or taking this seriously. And I think a lot of the smarter criminals who understand, I gave the aspiring entrepreneur advice earlier, right? What did I tell them? If the pack is running one way, you run the other. Well, a lot of these criminals are pretty smart entrepreneurs, too, in the cartels. So they understand skating to where the puck is going. The pack is running to the southern border. But if you really want to get serious, if you really had ill intentions for the country, people might actually consider going to the northern border and crossing where it's wide open with far less security, and that's already starting to happen. Goes back to the question about the military. The young man who asked about the question of serving in the Navy. I think the first and most important job of the U.S. national defense complex is to actually, radical idea here, defend the United States of America and our own homeland, which we're failing to do today. So I take those responsibilities seriously for our government, and I think if we get the right outcome in this election that I'm rooting and fighting for, I think we're going to get it from our federal government finally as well. So thank you, man. I appreciate the question. Thank you. And thanks for making the drive. It's good to be here.